Zambia, a nation and country of vast wealth, cultural and historical inheritance. No area or town more renowned than Livingstone, a historical city that once served as the capital of the then Northern Rhodesia. Not only famous for being on the edge of the mighty Victoria Falls, but boasting of hosting the first ever World Cup of any sport in Africa in 1910. Livingstone continues to attract and inspire tourists and visitors alike to explore its hospitality industry. For a city built no more than 10 kilometers from the world's largest single curtain of falling water, known as the Victoria Falls, the organizers of the Livingstone Sports Festival identified an opportunity to achieve three main objectives. First of these was to assist Zambia's southern province, home to Livingstone City itself, in supporting the Investment Expo. The second objective was to inspire the younger generation and showing what heights can be achieved through sport. The third objective was to partner with Private Enterprise Program, PEPZ, to help with Destination Livingstone. The partnership aims to promote Livingstone as a sustainable sports tourism venue, thereby bringing more visitors to the city and creating new income and growth opportunities for a wide range of local businesses, which ultimately creates jobs, reduces poverty, and contributes to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. To reveal the deep cultural inheritance embedded in the soul of Livingstone City, the Livingstone Sports Festival 2019 was launched with the Kupuwana traditional ceremony.
We're very honoured and lucky to have got the Litunga from Barotseland to come through to carry out a ceremony which hasn't been on this river in Livingstone for over 72 years. And that really excited the local population. The Lozis themselves, who now live in Livingstone, don't often go up to Mongu.
During the Kupuwana traditional ceremony, His Majesty Litunga Lubosi Imwiko II, King of the Lozi people, travelled to Livingstone on the Zambezi River, remembering the historical visit when his father, Lubosi Imwiko I, travelled to meet King George VI and Queen Elizabeth at the Zambezi Boat Club in 1947.
These cultural events, they help us, first of all, to know where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are going, and also to impart values and norms in the children who are coming behind us, because that is where the future lies. And when we do these kind of things, then we know a country without culture is one which is dead. And that is why it is important to preserve this kind of cultural activities, because they bring us together, they unify us, and we pass on what is supposed to be passed on to the young people.
The inclusion of the Kupuwana traditional ceremony and regatta was deliberate, both being water-based activities. The 5th Zambezi International Regatta attracted the highest number of Olympians to ever row on the Zambezi River. These included Oxford and Cambridge Universities alumni. The African crew was a special mix between Zimbabweans and South Africans, all alumni of South African institutions.
We've just finished our day racing here. It's been absolutely incredible. It's so different to rowing back home in the UK. I'd never seen a hippo before, I'd never seen an elephant before. I'd seen a crocodile in a zoo, and we saw all of them in the river. I think it's a scary place to row, but it's very good. Like, the water's flat, it's perfect for training. We've been very well looked after by everyone involved.
My experience here has been one to remember forever. It has been absolutely incredible. This Zambezi River is a flagship of Africa, and we can't be prouder to be able to row and have the honor to row on this river. And to have the honor of meeting the king was absolutely brilliant. You never get that in your life, and it was really special and such an honor.
Events at the Zambezi International Regatta included Ladies and Men's International 8's 500-meter sprint, Livingstone Ladies and Men's Raft Challenge 300-meter Heat 1 and Heat 2, Ladies and Men's International 8's 2,000-meter, Mukoro Race 300-meter, 1,000-meter sculling demonstration by Row Zambezi, and Ladies and Men's 300-meter raft sprint.
We are all of us, the South Africans, Oxford and Cambridge, we are all very, very grateful to you guys here for allowing us to come here and put this regatta on. And it's good, I think, also for the Zambians. They can see something different. It's the most amazing stretch of water. Nowhere else in the world, I know, you can row out there on beautiful water and past crocodiles and hippos and elephants and everything. It's amazing.
From an ordinary resident of Livingstone town and surrounding areas to a well-travelled tourist, Livingstone Sports Festival has something for everyone. Some witnessed the festival proceedings from the banks of the mighty Zambezi River, whereas some went aboard boats like Lady Livingstone, African Queen, African Princess, Makumbi and Mambushi to try and be closer to the action. His Majesty, the King, Litunga Lumbosi Mwiko II, presided over the colourful prize-giving ceremony. Zambia's quest for sporting excellence is well respected in Africa, being the only country which changed its name during the 1964 Olympics. Since then, its sport as a nation has continued to grow and develop. A platform like the Livingstone Sports Festival offers a great opportunity, not only for identification of talent, but more so, inspiration to many youngsters.
Yesterday we actually had 3 major events there. We had started with a run. We had a trial run at Baobab trials. That was a 4-kilometre and a 10-kilometre run. And we had the rugby and the football, international rugby with the teams from Zimbabwe. The national team from Zimbabwe and from Zambia doing a friendly international with the junior teams coming in as well. And then we had a major football league came in with Blue Arrows and Zesco United, with teams following up on that one, which was all very well attended. Then today we had the cycling, 10-kilometre, 25-kilometre and a 75-kilometre cycle race that went to the tips of the gorge, just completed just now.
A wise man once said, "If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you." Livingstone Sports Festival, backed by their flair for creating lifetime experiences in people's lives, organized a trail run. This run boasted, among other features, the pure, breathtaking route right on the edge of the Mosiwa-Tunya National Park, an untouched landscape of flora and fauna, not to mention the mind-blowing views. Participants had the opportunity to endure running on rocky and sandy areas, riverbeds, small passes, crossing a runway and under storm drains. Making the trail run a family event was a deliberate decision by the Livingstone Sports Festival, as many families took their time to soak in all the run had to offer.
I've enjoyed the run. Yeah, I'm actually running for the very first time in trail run. Yeah, and it wasn't really an easy thing, being the first time. But anyway, we've done it. I thank God for the strength.
The race was quite a bit tough, though some of us we are used to training tarmacs, but here at least it's bush. So we need to face the challenges of stones, gravels, water, sand, and other stuffs.
Livingstone Sports Festival intends to break down borders. It is indeed a festival for everyone. Some had travelled far to ensure they did not miss this opportunity.
My name is Mary Selke from Mpumalanga in South Africa, and needed some exercise, so decided to do the 10K run, and beautiful, glad I did it. Glad it's finished, but very nice. But very well organised, lovely. I'm very happy. Very nice to be finished. It was a good run. Thank you, keep it up. Wonderful, friendly people. Most enjoyable. Nice to come through this town and do something like this.
The trail run was held in remembrance of Yotam Muleya, a Zambian athlete that beat the British champion in 1958, but sadly lost his life in the USA. Rugby and soccer lovers were not left out in the Livingstone Sports Festival 2019 edition, as Acacia International School was the home for all rugby activities. Rugby is a fast-growing sport in Zambia and steeped in history. No more evident than when Zambia and Zimbabwe, then known as Northern and Southern Rhodesia, joined forces to beat the All Blacks of New Zealand in a non-test series in 1949. Events at Acacia International School saw Acacia School, Livingstone Rhinos and Zimbabwe's Victoria Falls Red Bulls play tag rugby. The World Cup match between Springboks and the All Blacks was screened live during lunch before the Boys Sevens tournament was played. The highlight of the day was the unofficial exhibition invitational match between Zambia and Zimbabwe. The game ended 24-13 in favor of Zimbabwe. The 2012 African football champions, Zambia, affectionately known as Chipolo Polo, continues to inspire Zambia as a nation. But what makes soccer great in Zambia? It's events like the Livingstone Sports Festival that offers opportunities at grassroots level to identify and tap a raw talent. Not to mention the aspirational elements of learning about, seeing and meeting past and current sporting greats across different sporting disciplines. All showing how the Livingstone Sports Festival has used sport to achieve multiple goals.
Football brings people together. Football can stop the conflict. Football, it's a weapon which brings the calmness at any country, because it's going to bring players together. It's going to bring everything to the well-mannered. That's how good with football. I remember one day when I was still playing, we went to play to Chad versus Zambia. It was Africa Cup qualifying game, and that time there was war. There was civil war, and then that week we were coming to play football. There was no war. Everybody stopped, tools down. We were there on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We played. As soon as we just land flying out, then the conflict starts again. So football is so powerful.
Soccer lovers assembled at Bharat Sports Grounds where all the soccer events took place. Teams included PK Academy, Sikaunze, True Vision, Simonga, Four Ways Nakatindi, Southlands, and the highlight of the tournament was the game between ZAF Blue Arrows versus Zesco Falls FC. A lot of people, especially the youngsters, were very happy to mix and mingle with their role models. Notable stars were former national team players Christopher Katongo, African BBC Player of the Year in 2012, and Emmanuel Mayuka, Africa Cup top scorer in 2012.
We've wanted to put on a cycle challenge here in Livingstone for the last 3 years, but time always evades us. So when Livingstone Sports Festival came upon, we decided let's put on a race. So for the last 2 months, our crew has been out there cutting routes. We have a 75 kilometer and a 25 kilometer and a 10 kilometer, going through the virgin bush, to the gorges, to the villages, off-road. So we had the opportunity to put our ride on with Livingstone Sports Festival. So this is our first ever event.
Livingstone Sports Festival has touched and continues to touch the lives of many people in different ways. For people like Claire and the Thorntree House, their dream of hosting an epic race through the wildlife areas has been made possible. Not to mention Baobab, who hosted the trail run. Many people from far and wide got the opportunity of a lifetime to meet some of the world's finest sporting personalities. Sportsmen and women from all over the world find events like the Livingstone Sports Festival dynamic and a great opportunity to compete, or rather, just give back to the sport or communities.
30.10. And Arthur apparently did 3 kilometers extra, he said, but...
However, operating in a resort and tourist town, Livingstone Sports Festival does not focus on sport alone, but focuses on the environment that enables various sporting disciplines. As such, they work closely with the Save the Zambezi Foundation.
There's groups of people out there, poachers and fishermen, that are using mosquito netting and shade cloth, you know, not a couple of meters, not just one mosquito net. We're talking about 2.5, nearly 3 weeks ago, there was a mosquito net or mosquito nets that had been sewn together and taken out of the river, and it was nearly 2.5 kilometers long. So we're talking about complete destruction of the Zambezi ecosystem through it. Our main projects, you know, we've got a couple of different projects, but the most important one at the moment is to mobilize the Department of Fisheries with boats, motors and the necessary equipment to do the much needed patrols on the Zambezi River to try and stop illegal netting.
As the curtain comes down on a successful year of participation, enjoyment, reflection and exhibition, the Livingstone Sports Festival proves that it really is a blend of sport and culture in its truest form.
There's going to be an abundance of sporting activities coming in. These are just the ones that we started off with. There's a lot more that we're going to do. There's golf that we'll be looking at. There's calls for cricket, for volleyball. You know, there's some places here that have croquet. You know, there's a lot of things that we can have going forward. So we haven't limited ourselves to any sport, and we're just calling it a festival.
No doubt it will be bigger, it will be better, it will offer more. There is no limit to a vision where there is passion. Who knows what the Livingstone Sports Festival will offer next year and in years to come.